Hi there. Today I'm at James Suckling's Great Wines of the World tasting in Miami Beach in Florida. And I thought I'd just take a moment to talk about one of the wines that I found really quite interesting at today's tasting. This is Pimray, Napa Valley, and I believe it's a Cabernet Sauvignon, or principally Cabernet anyway. The wine is interesting for a couple of reasons. First of all, its ownership. It's owned by the Tesseron family, and the Tesseron family originally made their money making Armagnac, but then also acquired the Pauillac property, fifth growth Pontet Canet, and actually probably in the last couple of decades, Pontet Canet has been one of the most exciting and sought after estates on the Medoc. So they've been really successful with that, and their adoption of biodynamic practices there, and just the overall quality and intensity of the wine has been notable. Pimray, as I say, in the Napa Valley, it's on Mount Veeder, so it's a hillside site. It was formerly the home of Robin Williams, the comedian, and evidently Pimray is a contraction of the names of his two children, so they've kept the name of the estate with that. And Williams never actually made wine at the estate, but the Tesserons bought the estate, bought the vineyards, and are now making wine. And again, they've applied their organic and biodynamic approaches to the winemaking there, and I believe are doing so very successfully. So let's have a look at the wine, shall we? First thing to say, it's got a real intensity of colour. It's not actually opaque. I can see the stem of the glass through the wine fairly easily, but it's got a good depth of pigmentation, I suppose, is the point there. So let's have a look at the aromas. The aromas are fairly restrained, but there's a sort of a slightly leafy blackcurrant note that you would expect from Cabernet Sauvignon. That's fairly typical. So it's more fruit forward than oak dominant. At any rate, so let's have a taste. Two things. The wine is rich, it's rounded, and it's very fruity, but it's got fabulous freshness. It really is. I mean, it's one of the difference of the mountain sites in Napa to the valley floor, that you do get this sort of good retention of acidity, and that's really enlivening everything. But there's a lovely tannic concentration. They're not harsh tannins. They're very, very smooth and velvety. The flavours are rich, they're chocolatey, there's sort of notes of black currant, black cherry, and because of the acidity, the flavours are lasting really well. So, a really interesting wine, great to try it, and just its freshness and its vibrancy is fantastic, and I think that's quite an achievement, considering that when you look at the alcohol level on the label, it's listed as being 15.9%, which you just don't detect. I mean, there is some warmth, you'd expect that from a Napa Cabernet, but a lot more freshness and vibrancy than I would have expected, and yeah, in combination with the lovely smooth tannins, it makes it a very enjoyable wine, and should give the wine the ability to age reasonably well for a decade or so. So if you found this interesting, thank you for listening, and I hope you'll join us again. Goodbye.